Just my assessment of it, Maz, you look at Doc Rivers, you look at Mike Budenholzer, you look at guys that have been around, man. Doc's been coaching in the NBA since the 90s. Doc's been coaching since the 90s. So you've seen him with his fair share of teams. You've seen him with his fair share of failures. You've seen him go through a lot of different things. And his recent situation, maybe not all his fault, but is another Doc Rivers failure. That's how they're phrased. So I think if you're Tom Gorse, you're the Pistons from that standpoint, you don't want to go after somebody that has a lot of PTSD as it relates to failures, a lot of failures, and he hasn't really had much success in the last, I mean, you look at the last 5 years, like it hasn't been the success that he had when he was with the Boston Celtics. You look at Mike Budenholzer, they were getting ready to fire him until he won that championship 3 years ago. Now they win the championship, and then Chris Middleton, some injuries, they haven't been the same since. But I just think from Monty Williams' standpoint, yeah, they overpaid, but this is Detroit.
They way overpaid.
That was the big thing.
It's the largest contract in NBA history.
But that's the big thing that I said. I said to get a guy that you want here to Detroit to coach the Pistons, you're going to have to give up a lot more than you usually would. But when Monty Williams look at a guy, everywhere he's gone as an assistant and now the head coach, the Suns, the teams have been better. The players have gotten better, whether it's with the Blazers, the Hornets, the Thunder to a certain extent, the 76ers, he was there with Joel Embiid. He was there with, I want to say, J.J. Redick as well. Those teams, maybe even Jimmy Butler. I got to check my sources on that one. And then, obviously, the Phoenix Suns, who you saw 2 years ago, they were 2-0 in the NBA Finals with a chance to win. I look at the
for Chris Paul.
100%. There you go. Chris Paul is going to Cliff Paul at some point. But I just look at the players, just in the Phoenix Suns, and how they got better. Devin Booker is a much better player since Monty Williams has been there. Jay Crowder, when he was there, Jay Crowder was a better player. You look at Cameron Payne. He was injured a lot during the season. But when he came in the playoffs this year, played much faster, much better. He played with much more pace, a lot different than when he was Russell Westbrook's handshake guy once upon a time ago in the OKC line to becoming the starting point guard. So I've seen the young guys have some success. I mean, you look at his records. This is Monty Williams with the Phoenix Suns, Maz. The year before he got there, 19-63.
Right.
We all know that. That's
took him up to 34.
19-63. Took him to 34.
Right.
The next year, 51-21. The next year, 64-18, and that was the year that they would end up losing. And then 45-37 this past season. So he's above 500 every time. He obviously had the year 64-18 and 51. So he had some big years in there. And the players seem to like him.